In this video, I want to talk about the snare drum. Now, I made a previous video about the hi-hats and I listed all the different ways you can play the hi-hats. This is a similar concept, but not quite the same because we're not talking about rudiments here like paradiddles and stuff. So we're not really going to be listing stuff so much as I'm just going to be going through how it works and how it functions. I highly recommend that you watch that hi-hat video, by the way. I think it'll be useful to you. But that being said, let's get into this, and let's start with the differences between cross-sticking, rim shots, and flams. People tend to get that confused where I'm from. Cross-sticking is using the rim of the snare. So you rest the back of the drumstick sort of 2/3 down, and then you tap on the rim. Now that's the way that I was taught to do it. I will say that you want to tap quite hard. It's not really a tap so much as a strike. And the reason that you want to make it quite hard is because it is quite a thin sound. It'll get drowned out by the bass drum and the hi-hats if you're not careful. So you do tend to want to put quite a bit of force behind that. That's cross-sticking. A rim shot is different. I know this sounds like it should be rim shot because it involves a rim. A rim shot is actually you play the skin and the rim at the same time. Now I'm terrible at these, so I hope I can get it right. It's okay, I guess. The idea is I'll start, at least for practicing, I will start with my sticks flush with the skin and the rim, and then I will lift straight up, try to lift straight up and go straight down, okay? But again, you are making contact with the rim and the skin at the same time, and it creates a crack, a much brighter sound, a much sharper sound. It will cut through everything. Much more audible than a straightforward snare sound. Which brings us to the flam. I don't know why people insist on calling this a flam. Maybe it's just where I'm from. But a flam is actually just two strikes very rapidly, one after the other. And the way you do that, you start with your sticks one slightly higher, and you do that. That might have been too tight, I'm not sure. I'm not an expert in marching band stuff, but that's the idea behind a flam. Right? That's a more pronounced flam so that you can hear what's going on. Those are three different things. I guess the next step is to talk about the skin itself and the fact that there are different sort of zones. Because the center of the skin sounds different as you get closer to the rim, right? I'll just play, and it's a different sound, right? Okay. Now in theory, as you get further out, so the sound changes. But in practice, at least the way I play, I'm only really either playing in the center or I'm playing in the rim. I'm not really differentiating that much, right? So you might, for instance, during the verse be playing, but then you get to the chorus and you want a heavier tone, more of a thud, so you move into the middle. Okay, that's the sort of thinking. The last thing to talk about with regards to the snare is that it is either switched on or it's switched off. And what I mean by that is you have a little switch here. So it's switched on now, and that's what it sounds like. If I switch it off, I get the sound of a tom. This, I feel like, is more useful than a lot of beginner drummers realize, because of the fact that on this kit, for instance, I have 2 rack toms and a floor tom. Well, by switching off the snare, I just added a 4th tom to my set, if you think about it. So all of a sudden, I can add to my fill-ins. I can make my fill-ins more complicated. I can have fun with this. This is a higher pitched tom, essentially, to this tom. Right? So it is useful. The only thing I will say is it's a bit inconvenient switching this thing off and on during a song. I've done it before. If I start a song on a floor tom, then I will sometimes start with this thing on, and then we'll at some point switch this on and go to full snare. But as you can see, it's an awkward thing to have to switch this off and on, particularly when you're trying to hold a drumstick in your hands. But it's an added functionality. And that's about all for this video. Hope I haven't left anything else. If you think I have, feel free to comment down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.